This might be the first and last time I film outside, but that's okay. It's my first witchy video. I thought we would do something special. And then wait for the wind to stop. And I've been waiting for almost a week to film this, but it has been raining. I have my little notes. This has been highly requested by people around me. Starting where do I start with witchcraft, kind of answer that question. I have 4 things that we're going to talk about today. They are as follows: types of witchcraft, what paths can I follow, tools and ingredients, and things you should research. And I've seen a lot of, I haven't gotten it myself, but I've seen a lot of like people not understanding what it's about, and you have to educate yourself to understand what's happening in this little world, and I've entered it with an open mind. I have just kind of looked out there on Tumblr, on Instagram, seeing what's out there in the community, and witchcraft is a craft above all things else. It is something that you create for yourself. It is not a religion. If you want to interpret your religion into it or make some religious aspect of it, you totally can. And there are, like, out of the types of witches, which is what we're starting off with, you'll see that there are some religious type witches, some of them being Wicca. Wicca is a religion. There's pagan, there's Celtic, there's different ceremonial type ones. You can be Christian or Catholic and do witchcraft, because it's not really about worshipping anything. It's just about sending your good thoughts and whatever you wish out into the universe, if that makes sense, if that's what the path that you want to take is. Personally, since we're outside, I thought it was appropriate. I see myself as like a fire/sun witch, meaning I draw energy from the sun or from candles. I do a lot of candle work. I knew when I started researching and I started looking at everything, this hair. When I started doing my research and everything, and they were like, what do you draw energy from? I was like, I feel most alive in the middle of the summertime when I am laying out there just soaking in the sun's energy, and that is when I feel at my peak and I feel the best about myself. For somebody else, it might be something else, like maybe you feel most powerful at night. That would be a nocturnal witch. Other people maybe feel best during a storm, so they would consider themselves a storm witch, is when they get most of their power and they feel most like themselves in that moment. There's other ones like green witch, just elemental witch. Traditional witches, hereditary, are usually people who have it passed down to them. And kitchen witch, who are people who put their magic and their spells into their baking, which I also considered that path at first, but I do not cook enough. Sorry guys. But if I did, I think in the future I will pursue a little bit of the kitchen witchcraft, because I do find it very intriguing and very interesting. Some people are motivated by the sea. That's what drives them. There'll be a sea witch, there's music witches, there's dance witches, there's artistic witches. More slightly confusing would be a grey witch or a techno witch, or there's a draconian witch. Even hedge witchcraft is a little confusing to me, but I think it's really cool. Techno and urban witches are more recent kind of thing. There is lots of people on Tumblr who I feel follow this path with like emoji spells, which I think are really cool. I don't know how they work, but I find them very intriguing. And then other things like crystal witches. If you just wish to have like a title and you don't feel like you follow any particular path, you could be an eclectic witch, which is somebody who practices by themselves and they're kind of lonesome, but it's their witchcraft and they do whatever they want. Or even a solitary witch. They don't follow like a specific path, they just do the path that feels right for them. And above all else, when you start your journey, you could also just consider yourself a baby witch, because you're still learning. Although I feel like after over a year and a half, I think I've been doing this, or researching at least, there's always more to learn. So I still consider myself a baby witch, 100%. I don't think I'll ever not feel like a baby witch. But if my editing skills are great, I'll put a bunch of those names that I set up here so that you guys can pick one and start researching. I do suggest either Tumblr or Instagram for most of them. I haven't really explored the Twitter side of Witchcraft because I follow so many booktubers, and I finally started using my Twitter a lot more, so good on me. There are 2 birds watching me from the roof of the garage. Oh, and one right there. Okay, hi guys, what's up? I am afraid of birds. So I wrote this like whole speech of like what path I should take, so this is gonna be a lot, but I hope it makes sense as I'm saying it. When you're deciding what path you should take, like what elements are you drawn to? There's no definite path that you have to take. You can start where you want, whatever feels most appropriate to you. It's fine if you pick the wrong path and you feel like you have to backtrack. It's not really backtracking, you're still learning. If you pick one path and then switch to another one, you're still learning. You're still expanding your knowledge. You're knowing what's out there. You're trying to figure out what feels right for you, and that is 100% acceptable. And no matter what, your interests in real life are also changing as well. Not even just on your witch path, but like in your day-to-day activities. Even if you don't include witchcraft in everything changes all the time. I switch from reading to writing to drawing to witchcraft to this to that to this, and whatever interests you have in the moment, they change, which is acceptable. It's totally fine. You're not backtracking ever when you're learning. One thing that you have to remember that is your craft, and you can pursue it however you want to. Nobody should tell you any different. And don't let yourself be locked in a path that you don't want to be in. If you find yourself at a place where you don't feel comfortable and you don't want to be there, switch. Go somewhere else. It's totally fine. While you're researching though, beware of what you're looking at. Some people have rules that follow their path that are not necessarily rules for another path or somebody else. If you are Wicca, for example, because this is the only one I can think of off the top of my head, they have the threefold rule, which means if you put something out in the universe, it comes back to you threefold. I don't particularly believe in that. I believe more in like karma, you put it out, it comes back kind of thing. Not in threefold, that's a little weird to me, but that's how they see it, that's how they follow it. It's not a rule. But you will see it in several books because most of the books that are published are Wicca related. And finally, ask questions. There's no wrong question. The community that I have experienced has been, they ask questions, nobody's going to turn a baby witch away who wants to just know an answer to a question. If you have questions, I will answer them for you. If I cannot answer them, I will do all my research, I will ask other people, I will talk to people for you if you feel uncomfortable to do that. You can message any of my Instagrams. I'll try my best. You can leave a comment on this video, ask your questions, and I will I will be there. If you want to be more private and you don't want to know who I am, I do have an email address down below that you can email as well with your questions. I don't mind. I will do my best to help you and your craft out. On that note, we're going to switch to tools and ingredients. But before you buy all these new things that you want for your craft, I mean, like, most of us are broke. Let's be real here. Generation that I'm in, between the millennials and the Gen Zs, we don't have a lot of money right now. And if we want to get started, especially if you are a closeted witch, which means you're in the broom closet, nobody knows you practice witchcraft, you still live with a family who doesn't approve of it necessarily, especially if you are those people, you just need to look in your spice cupboard for most things. Most of the stuff is herbs. And if you want to get crystals or anything, the museums have those bags where it's like, buy a bunch of crystals for $2. Those are perfect. But before you go out to the museum, just look around your house. Maybe you have rocks that you got as a kid. Also, go for a walk. Because all of us as kids are like obsessed with everything. Maybe you collected stuff and you kept it in like a little box or something, and you still have that sitting around. So look around your house before you decide to go out and buy new materials. You probably won't have to. So there's a bunch of tools, and then I'll go through the ingredients that I feel are the most appropriate or the strongest, I guess, for you to start off with. But in alphabetical order, I have a list of tools. Altar objects. If you would like to create an altar for yourself, it's where you do all of your spells. Yeah? Oh god, oh god. Oh!
Good job.
Thanks. I normally don't catch things when they're thrown at me. Okay, altar. So your altar is your workspace. Where are you going to perform your spells? Where are you going to meditate? Although I suck at meditating still. Working on that. It's like an aesthetic workplace, whatever you want it to look like. The next one is a theme. It's a ceremonial knife used for actions such as indicating directions or cutting yourself out of a circle. They're typically, I think they're made of all metal, but it's honestly whatever you want it to be. I personally do not have one of these yet. A besom or a broom, which we are making on the summer solstice, I'm very excited, is a personal item used for cleansing energy. This is typically made from sticks and pieces of wood that you just find, maybe grass and flowers that you pick up, because it is supposed to be very personal. Bowline, which is a new thing that I have discovered, is a knife intended for cutting plants specifically. And then a burine is a thin pointed tool to carve symbols and designs into candles and other items. I just have this small X-Acto knife that I was using for that, so that is also something new that I've discovered. Candles, which are the most frequently used item of witchcraft, they assist basically in everything that you can do. And a little tip with candles, if you are doing spirit work, do not blow out your candle. Use a candle snuffer, which you can get at the dollar store for like $1, or you can be rebellious and lick your fingers, and then I've done that a couple times. Don't do it. And the next item is a cauldron, which is used for collecting burn material or holding herbs or candles. You can use it for a variety of things. I personally do not have one of these. I would love one. They are very expensive. They are not at the top. It's not at the top of my to get list for witchcraft. Let's just say that, because they are very expensive. You also have a chalice, which is a ceremonial drinking vessel. I do have one of these. It is beautiful. Shout out to my friend for getting it for me. A charcoal is to burn herbs, incense, or oils. So typically this is used in tandem with the cauldron. They are little discs that you can buy pretty much anywhere. A compass, which is something I didn't know people used, but it's to align with the 4 directions. Personally, my altar is set up so that I have the 4 directions with 4 candles, and I have a piece of each element to sit with the 4 directions as they go. I have some rocks for earth, I have feathers for air, I have charcoal sticks for fire, and I have seashells for water. But a compass is also a really easy and cheap way to do that. Everybody actually has one on their phone. Crystals are both magical tools and magical materials. They have so many uses. You can wear them, you can use them in spells. I know you can put them like in spell jars and in sprays. Some of them are really good with that kind of stuff. You just have to do your research and work really well with them, but they're so versatile, it's insane. The next one is paper and pen and ink. With paper, lots of spells ask you to write something down. If you want to burn it or bury it or dissolve it in water, you usually write it down on a piece of paper before you do that thing. For the pen and ink, you can also use pens in Colormancy and charge your pens for different purposes if you want to write. Say you have a specific pen that you would like to use to motivate yourself to do your homework. You can charge that pen for motivation. The next one is a pentacle. There is very many reasons to use this symbol. I personally don't have one that I have like drawn out or anything because I suck at circles and straight lines, but I do typically use the Ace of Pentacles in whatever tarot deck I'm feeling connected with. At that time, I will take out that card and I will put it on my altar to use it if I need to for anything. Pestle and mortar. I know I'm going to say that wrong. I say it wrong all the time. I literally cannot pronounce it. Shout out to this airplane. They're frequently used to create herb mixtures for your spell work. I do have these, and they are also very expensive, but typically you have some in your house. I have really good stone ones. That's probably why it was really expensive, but I'm sure you can buy these at Value Village. They're really, really easy to get a hold of. The next thing I have on my list is scrying tools. It's a form of divination, and there are lots of different forms or ways to do that. I have done research on fire scrying, but I have never actually done it. But I understand the concept. I'm just not very good at staying concentrated for very long. And the last tool on my list is a wand, which is a personal tool to direct energy. You can also make this from a stick that you find in the forest, whatever feels most appropriate for yourself. You can decorate it in whichever way you would like. I know of this local business that makes wands, and they actually have like a little opening so you can open it and put stuff in, and I think it's really cool. I've only seen them once and I didn't buy one, and I was very disappointed in myself. Your storage method of your tools is up to you. A lot of people wrap them in cloth, some people keep them like in a bin. Most of mine are in the drawers underneath my altar, which is my dresser. And now, so I have compiled a list of 8 herbs and 8 crystals that I think are important that you can use in spell work, that are probably the easiest to get some of them one of them is not the easiest to get a hold of. Most of these you can buy them at Walmart. Pretty much all of them for the herbs you can buy at Walmart. They're the easiest ones to get a hold of, the most common, and the most useful for your spell work. For the herbs, the most useful one, that if you don't have anything else, you can use rosemary for pretty much anything. It's for protection, fidelity, remembrance, love, mental powers, healing, and youth. But you honestly can use rosemary for anything. It is very versatile. Next, I have bay or bay leaves, which is used for healing, protection, psychic enhancement, success, and wishes. A lot of people write their wish onto a bay leaf and use it in their spell work. If you do not want to use a piece of paper, it doesn't feel appropriate to write something on, you write it on a bay leaf. Lavender is very important. Cleansing, health, and wellness, love, purification, sleep, and dreams. I personally do not like the smell of lavender, so I will put something else in to overpower the smell of lavender. But it is amazing and really good for your spell work. Next is basil, calming, fidelity, good luck, love, and purification. Basil is in everybody's cupboard, I think. If you have a space cupboard, you have basil. Sage is used for cleansing, purification, mental activity, psychic clarity, and wisdom. A lot of people burn sage to cleanse out a room. That would be smoke cleansing, but you can burn a lot of different herbs to do smoke cleansing. It is not smudging, because unless you were taught to smudge, because it is part of your culture, it's not considered smudging. Mint is for protection, money, healing, love, travel, and dreams. I do love mint. I have some mint. Chamomile is for good luck, meditation, protection from evil, and purification. I also do have lots of chamomile. Chamomile I think is the hardest one to come by. I have to go to a spice place to find it. I'm sure if I looked hard enough it would be at Walmart, but like, I gave up. And my personal favorite is thyme. That's why I put it on this list. It is for protection and cleansing. I didn't realize you could use thyme for so many things, and I use it in my cleansing spray. Also, if you can't smoke cleanse, use a cleansing spray. Create your own. That's what I did. I created my own cleansing spray. I do have a recipe on my witch Instagram. It is very far down. I should insert a picture of my cleansing spray. Now onto crystals. I have 8 crystals, just like I had 8 herbs, and we're starting off with clear quartz, which is for healing and intuition. This is also the base crystal that you can use for pretty much anything. Rosemary, clear quartz, and a white candle can make you anything in witchcraft. Any spell, anything you want to do. With clear quartz, you also can charge your clear quartz to be a purpose for anything other than healing or intuition. It is the base crystal. You can charge it to do anything you want it to do. The next one I have is rose quartz, which is love and friendship. I personally wear this one when I feel like I'm not loving myself. I do have a rose quartz necklace. I have lots of necklaces. If you've seen my booktube videos, there's necklaces in the background. There's more necklaces that you can't see because they're on a different wall. I have several crystal necklaces. That is mostly how I use my crystals, is in what I'm wearing. Citrine is for motivation, creativity, and self-expression. I do also have one of these, and I use it in the summer when I'm not feeling very motivated. Not wearing it today, but I will probably put some on after I'm done filming this video so that I can edit it, because this is going to be a lot. Amethyst is also very important. If you're going to buy 2 crystals, clear quartz and amethyst, that's what you need. This is for cleansing, mental health, and psychic development. Very important, very amazing. I have a giant piece of amethyst. I love it. Obsidian is also one of my favorites. It is for banishing, dream work, intuition, and magical shielding. So any black rock, crystal, whatever, including smoky quartz, which I don't have on this list, but any black crystal that you have is going to protect you. If you're feeling unsafe, if you feel like you're going somewhere where you don't feel comfortable, put on a black crystal. Moonstone is for intuition, inspiration, success, and good fortune. I also think moonstone looks beautiful. Selenite is for creativity, decision making, enlightenment. I spelled that so wrong. And inspiration. I also like selenite is those, you actually can buy them at Chapters, which I think is wild. And hematite, which is for confidence, courage, healing, protection, and psychic awareness. Also good for protecting because it is a black crystal. Other just side tools and ingredients that you can use, which I just wrote down as I was making this list, is salt is really good. Incense, if you can burn smoke. I personally cannot use incense because there are people in my house that are allergic to smoke. Your Book of Shadows is your personal experience in witchcraft, your personal journey, whereas your grimoire holds all your information. And then the holidays that are on the pagan calendar that everybody follows are called Sabbats. And my final thing that I'm bringing to you is a list of things that you should research. History, types of witches and magic, which I gave you some, but you can also go deeper into them. Types of divination, tarot, pendulum, palm reading. There are so many. Sigils, talismans, runes, symbols. I just actually ordered my first rune set, but I know people have made their own, and they're beautiful. If you'd like to, you can research deities. I am researching gods and goddesses from a bunch of different cultures just to know what's out there kind of thing. I haven't really picked anything. I don't see myself as a very religious person, which is fine. Grounding and cleansing are very important. Also circle casting. Dreams and dream work. Your dreams can tell you a lot. I started learning about what my dreams were telling me long before I discovered about witchcraft. Herbs and crystals, I just gave you a base of where you can start with those. Altars are literally whatever you want them to be, basically, wherever you feel is appropriate to do your work. Moon phases and astrology is also very important. Full moons versus new moons, what's in between. They will tell you actually a lot about your life if you are very moon sensitive, and I am. There are different types of energy, different places you can get energy, different ways to charge something. That is also very important to research. The types of spells, sometimes things will not be black and white as you will see them. You will see a spell and you will see an aspect of it that doesn't work for you. You can change it. There's nothing holding you back from making something your own. The elements, I say that because I am so drawn to the elements and I find them very important. Thank you, Avatar: The Last Airbender, for doing that. But that's how I feel. I feel they are very important to research and you should know about them. And the last thing is spirits. If you are working with spirits, you need to do your research. You need to know what's happening to be able to not upset them because they are very sensitive. I have not done enough research with spirits to do anything about them, but that's okay. And there's my introduction to witchcraft video. I know this is a bit different from my booktube stuff, but I did promise at the beginning of this that I was going to include witchcraft, and I used to pick up a tarot card a day when I did reading vlogs, but I haven't done that in a long time. I kind of fell off the bandwagon when I stopped making videos for a while, and now that I'm back and I have several people around me wanting to ask questions and stuff, I figured this is a good place for a lot of them to start. So here you go. I hope this helps. If you honestly have any questions, just let me know, message me, email me, whatever you need to do to get in contact with me. There's no judgment here. We are all open-minded and we all have questions, and I have never turned away somebody who has a question for me on my witch Instagram, which has been like 2 or 3 times. I do appreciate all the questions and I love hearing from you guys, so let me know. And apologize for the background noise. I thought filming outside would be a good idea, but I guess not. I hope you all have a great day and good luck. Bye!